So the tools we're going to be using to do this, we got a spring-loaded center punch to first mark the hole. We got a regular center punch to make it a really big hole. Brass hammer that was my dad's. Don't know how old it is. It's pretty old. Makita drill with the Amazon spot weld cutter, and you can change the tips when they get worn out. So let's get to punching. I better take a picture of that so I know what goes where. Don't matter, I'm going to forget everything. Alright, we have the pilot, and I took the neutral safety switch off of the other transmission before I turned it in. Well, wouldn't you know it, I was on my way home, and probably going faster than I should have been, and I took a curve and it fell over. So probably no damage, just now I've got to try to pick it back up and get it on the pallet and get it out of the truck. Alright, we got the transmission. We threw a power washer on that real quick. The motor, power washed that, and I think it looks a whole lot better than it did. Probably still needs a little bit of cleaning here and there, but it's the biggest thing right there, J35A9. That's what I need, not an A7, A9. We've got the solenoid gasket, and we've got the spool valve gasket. Beck Arnley, I usually get genuine Honda. I did not on this one, so for this, the solenoids right here, we got these 2 bolts for the little gasket, these 3 bolts for the oil filter housing, and let me set this over here somewhere where you may be able to see. Probably not. These are 12 millimeters, the other ones are 10s. Come on. Alright, so now you're going to spill oil all over the place, because that's how we roll. Let's see the spool valve gasket, which getting kind of hard as a rock. Yep. So it's a good thing we pulled that out, and we'll clean that up, put the new gasket in, and we'll hit the solenoid. Alright, so we pressed the new gasket in. It's nice and soft and pliable. We'll take the solenoid off here real quick. I say real quick. Nothing's ever as quick as you want it to be. And there is our solenoid gasket. Of course, I didn't bring the pick out. Okay, so this wow, that is hard as a rock. It's probably going to break. Alright, terrible, terrible, terrible. And the reason I'm doing this is to prevent oil leaks in the future. So I'll pop this bad boy in here. And just like that, we've got our gasket replaced. Clean this up. That's nice and free. Pop this back on. Move this back, maybe you can see. And I am dripping oil all over myself. Maybe I should have taken the filter off first. Emptied it. That probably would have been a smart thing to do. Run it down. Runaway socket. Hey, it's not a 10mm. Okay, that's on. Pop this back in. Bolt at the top. This bolt here. At least this. Oh, this bolt here. Of course, the bolts are 3 different lengths. Wouldn't want that any other way. All right, let's run it in. All right, we'll torque these down, and that is the spool valve gasket and the solenoid gasket. Nice copper. NGKs, that's probably what I got going back in. Okay, cylinder 1 or whatever looks good. Cylinder 2 is pretty much the same way, a little orangish color. Cylinder 3 might have been a little bit lean. Once again, NGK plugs, so they did that right, and they have been changed. That one looks all right. That one looks okay. All right, so we got good plugs. Okay, we took the air compressor, and you see the Woodruff key in there. When you take a harmonic balancer off, make sure you don't lose that Woodruff key. I've had to go to the junkyard and pull these just to get the Woodruff key before. Not the best time in the world. These kind of slide up one in there. Get the timing cover off. This is so much easier with this out of the car. And you drop it. Okay, that might be it. No, there's another one. Gee, right in front of me. I'm staring at it. Okay, there's one. There's two. Well, it's a good sign that the timing belt's still intact. And there's two more I forgot. At least you can see them here. Under the car, not so much. Ugh. Okay, before we take a closer look, let me get my flashlight so we can really have a good look. Okay, we've got our motor at top dead center. And the reason we know that is because we have this cam gear lined up. You see the dots? We have this cam gear lined up with this right next to the one. You'll see the hash mark, and it goes right up to the casting on the head. That's lined up. And then down on the crank, we got a little arrow, which is right in the middle, right up on top. And the arrow, here we go again with the flashlight and the camera, so bear with me. We got the arrow right here and the arrow right there. So all those three are lined up. Motor's at top dead center. We go ahead and remove our timing kit. Okay, for us, we're going to be using an ASIN kit, TKH002, which is what I would recommend if you're doing this. You got your Mitsubishi belt, I believe. And, yep, Mitsubishi belt. ASIN water pump, very important. And then I believe these are Koyo bearings, yep. With a tensioner that I cannot read because it's getting so dark out, but I want to get the water pump in at least. Yeah, who knows where that thing's made. It's an ASIN though, so it's probably made in Japan. Alright. Yeah, Koyo bearings, very nice. Made in Japan stuff. A little sticker, let me put that on there. So let us go ahead and I'm gonna, as you can see, I got it all nice and cleaned up, nice and pretty. Next step, we're gonna put the water pump in, and that's gonna be it for the night.